YouTube! Welcome to another video! Today we're watching the fake and real history of potato chips by Tasting History with Max Miller. You guys, I am a potato hater. I like potato chips, but I do not like other types of potato. I also like fries, but other than that, potatoes are not good. I don't like the texture mostly. I don't like the texture. That's why potato chips are okay, because the texture is very different. Let's go. I'm sorry, Potato Mine. I'm sorry. If you're the Potato Mine from Plants vs. Zombies, I also like you. Okay, let's go.
So there's a story going around on the internet that says potato chips were invented near Saratoga Springs, New York in 1853. It's even on the website of the Smithsonian, so it's gotta be true, right? Wrong, and I am going to prove it by making a recipe for potato chips from 1817.
They just look like roasted potatoes, kinda, right?
36 years before the story took place.
Like fried potatoes.
The history, both fake and real, of the potato
Pan-fried.
chip. This time on Tasting History. So the recipe that I'm working from today to dispel the spurious claim that the potato chip was invented in 1853 comes from The Cook's Oracle, an 1817 English cookbook by Dr. William Kitchener. Now, the American term chip nor the British term crisp had come into common use yet, so he calls them potatoes fried in slices or shavings.
A very catchy name, guys. Very catchy name. Okay, guys, I hate the British word for chips. I hate the word crisps, simply because it's hard to say. It's so hard to say, crisps. I hate saying it. I just hate saying it. Yeah, chips is so easy to say. I say chips sometimes because I'm German, but yes, that is my, crisps. It sounds like calling a cat. I'll definitely say chips.
Peel large
or
potatoes.
Chips.
Slice them about 1/4 inch thick or cut them in shavings round and round as you would peel a lemon. Dry them well in a clean cloth and fry them in lard or dripping. Take care that your fat and frying pan are quite clean. Put it on a quick fire, watch it, and as soon as the lard boils and is still, put in the slices of potato and keep moving them till they are crisp. Take them up and lay them to drain on a sieve. Send them up with very little salt sprinkled over them.
Very little? Okay. No other, okay. I mean, I like salt chips.
So he says they should be about 1/4 inch thick, which is a lot thicker than you would make a potato chip today, but nowhere near as thick as you would make like a French fry or what they would call a chip in England. Another way that they're different from French fries is he says they should be crisp, and French fries aren't usually crisp, especially if you're in England. Frankly, they make soggy fries. So I'm curious, is this the origin of the English term crisp, meaning potato chip? I don't know. Either way, I am going to make these 1/4 inch thick.
I guess. Soggy fries. He was not convinced of the soggy fries, I don't think. Myself, I only like the soggy fries from McDonald's. Other than that, I do think fries are nicer if they're like on the crispier side. Yeah. Slander the English. I'm sorry. I don't mean this to be an English slander video, okay? But I don't like the word crisps. I'm not a big fan of the British chips. It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
And 1/8 inch thick, which is what later recipes call for from the mid to late 19th century. So for this recipe, all you need is a few potatoes, about 1 pound, and you want to use either russet potatoes or any high starch potato. That's going to work best for this. And then about 2 quarts of lard. You can use any kind of oil. He mentions lard, but you can use a different type of oil if you would prefer, but lard tastes great, so that's what I'm using. Then just a bit of salt. So first, peel the potatoes and then slice them. You can use a knife for this, but you want them to be very even, so I'm going to be using a mandolin slicer. 1, because that's frankly the best way to slice potatoes evenly, and 2, it is something that they would have had available at the time. In fact, similar tools appear as far back as the Opera di Bartolomeo Scappi, and by the 18th century they were pretty much what we use today. And there's actually some fake history about the mandolin slicer also circulating around the internet. On some sites, you will find claims that it was invented by Dr. Joseph Ignace Guillotin, famous for another slicing device, the guillotine.
He didn't invent that either, just named after him. Okay. You could call this a slicing device, I suppose. Making human chips. Uh-oh.
And it would be really, really cool if that was true. When I first read that, I was like, oh, let this actually be a thing, but turns out it's not, or at least there is no evidence to suggest that it is, so, oh well. Now this recipe is very simple. It says that you just slice the potatoes and then dry them and fry them. There is no mention of washing them or putting them in any kind of solution that will strip away some of the starch, which is the common method that is used today because it's going to allow you to leave them in the fryer longer before they get dark. But he doesn't say to do that, so I'm not doing that. So all I'm doing is slicing the potatoes and then drying them well and then heating up my fat. Now, whatever fat you're using, you want to bring it up to around 365 degrees Fahrenheit or 185 Celsius before adding your potatoes. Once you've added the potatoes, they're going to bubble all about and the temperature of the oil is going to drop considerably, but that is okay. We actually want...
I was gonna say, this, I could easily make this at home, but I hate handling oil in that, in that quantity, because it just splatters everywhere. I don't know, guys. I can't get it to work without splattering everywhere.
Want it to drop to between 240 and 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's actually where you want to keep it for most of the frying. And depending on the width of the potato slice is going to depend on how long you need to fry it.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I never deep fry anything just because of that. Like fried food, in my opinion, fried food is superior to most foods, okay? If you make something fried, it's better. You make it better. But it's just kind of, little burns, it splatters everywhere, like the cleanup is annoying. But yeah. Also, I wonder, however, if you can air fry something like this. But then there's no fat involved, so it's probably not as delicious.
They're really, really thin. 5 to 7 minutes is fine.
Unless you add oil.
My quarter of an inch thick potatoes, though, they needed about 15 minutes at that temperature. And the thing is, you kind of have to do this a little bit to know when they're done. A lot of the bubbles will stop bubbling, but there still will be some, and it will start to darken, but you gotta kind of find that sweet spot. Also, in 1817, they wouldn't have had thermometers, so that too, just telling the temperature of the fat, that too would have had to been done just by doing it. Trial and error, baby. Now, while they fry, the recipe says to keep moving them around. It doesn't need to be constant, but this will keep them from sticking and will allow them to fry more evenly. Now, after they've had some time in that 240 to 250 range, you can raise the temperature up to close to 300, but don't go over 300. Then keep it there for about the last 5 minutes. This will help them really crisp up and get a little bit darker.
It's so weird seeing them in the oil. It's like they're wet, but it's not the same. They're not wet. They're just in oil. It's like it looks like they're gonna be soggy, but they're gonna be crispy.
And he says that they're ready once they are crisp. It is kind of hard to tell when they are crisp, but by stirring them around, you'll start to kind of feel the potato, and once they're not given any give, then they're crisp. Then take them out and set them on a large flat sieve like the recipe says, or you can just use some paper towel laid over a cooling rack. Essentially, all you're trying to do is let any excess grease drain. After a minute or so, sprinkle with a bit of salt and toss them and let them cool to room temperature.
Looks good,
and while they
honestly.
cool, make sure you are subscribed to Tasting History as we look at the fake history of potato chips.
Yes!
Saratoga Lake, New York, 1853. It all took place at Moon's Lake House, a fine establishment serving high-quality victuals to the muckety-mucks come up from New York City. Now,
To the what? The what?
The restaurant itself was owned by a Mr. Carey Moon, but all the cooking was done by Catherine Wicks, affectionately known as Aunt Kate, and her brother George Speck Crumb.
Dude, you know what Speck is in German? This word means bacon. His name is Bacon Crumb. Yeah.
So one version of the story goes that George is back in the kitchen when a well-to-do customer, sometimes the customer is Cornelius Vanderbilt in some versions, but a well-to-do customer comes in and orders some fried potatoes, which were on the menu. George fries up the potatoes, sends them out, and the customer says, no, they need to be thinner like I had in France. Ooh la la.
Okay.
So George slices them thinner, sends them out again, and once again, nope, not thin enough.
What?
Well, this goes on several times, depending on who's telling the tale, until finally George, fed up with this difficult customer, slices the potatoes so thin that you could even see through them, wafer thin. Then he fries them up, salts them, and sends them out to the customer, assuming that the customer would be embarrassed or upset at how silly these thin potatoes were. Well, the customer loved them and ate the whole basket or plate or whatever they were served on, just polished them off, and thus born was the potato chip.
That's so funny. They serve the potato chip in a restaurant, you guys. I don't think you could. I don't think that happens anymore. Like a fancy restaurant.
The first problem with this story is that, as evidenced by the recipe that we're making today, they already existed, both in an English cookbook and in several American cookbooks, like the Virginia Housewife from 1824, though that one pretty much just copied word for word the English recipe, so do with that what you will. Also, there are so many variations on this story, who the customer was, exactly when it was, even who was doing the cooking, because sometimes it was Aunt Kate, his sister, who sometimes is also his sister-in-law. It's an absolute mess. Anyway, there's so much variation.
Okay.
That it's hard to actually say what happened. Also, the first time that any of this seemed to have been talked about or written down wasn't until 30 years after it supposedly took place. This is how fake history gets spread around. All of the internet, in published publications, of course it's published, it's publication. Anyway, it gets spread around and you just gotta always...
Published publications. Like the online internet. Customer was MIP all along, I bet. Dude, how old do you think I am?
Always kind of find those original sources, and if you can't find them, well, maybe something's amiss. But even though the story, as was told, probably never happened,
67, sure.
There is some truth to it, because George Crumb, who was very much a real person, was a very respected chef and later owned his own restaurant near Saratoga Springs, and he probably is the person to have either first made potato chips very, very thin, or at least he's the first person to have popularized them. This very thin style of chip became known as Saratoga chips.
Ooh, sounds fancy. Bye-bye, Colin. Take care.
In 1883, Jessup Whitehead wrote in the Chicago Herald Cooking School that potatoes sliced thick are not Saratogas, though generally so called. The true chips are as thin as paper and curl up when fried. They are used cold as well as hot, and may be prepared before wanted and kept a considerable time.
I'm just
and by
getting
the end of the 19th
hungrier.
century, this style of chip was very much associated with George Crumb and his restaurant. Not to dine at Crumb's at the lake is to be out of the world and out of the fashion. Crumb has owned the place for 10 years and has made a big success of it, and there first appeared to a waiting, hungry world the delectable morsels known as Saratoga chips. These Saratoga chips were incredibly popular, and by the late 19th century, there were recipes in many, many American cookbooks for them, and they were actually selling Saratoga chip slicers specially designed for slicing Saratoga chips.
$1. You guys, this man was kind of a genius, I'm not gonna lie. Like, potato chips, probably like top 10 food, I don't know. Hello, Kyle, welcome.
Except that they weren't. They were actually just regular potato slicers, but they would say that they were specially designed for Saratoga chips because
Genius marketing.
it sold more slicers. Then in 1895, William Tappenden of Ohio began boxing up the chips and selling them to stores. The only problem with that is that the chips would go stale rather quickly, the merest bit of humidity, and the chips are no longer crisp. Now, the solution to that came in 1926, when a California woman named Laura Scudder, famous now for her peanut butter, she debuted a bag of wax paper that could be filled with chips and then sealed. She even...
Okay, another genius. What the heck? The peanut butter lady and also potato chip bag lady.
Even put a date of not expiration but of freshness on the bag, letting you know how long they would be nice and crisp. And she marketed them as Laura Scudder's potato chips, the noisiest chips in the world.
That's so silly. I love that. Chips are very noisy. I think that's the one thing, yeah, they changed the world. Actually, they changed the world, but there's like, you know, I feel like I never thought of this before this video. Who invented potato chips? But potato chips are such a, I mean, it's not a big part of my life, but it is a part of my life. Does it make sense? Mip is the noisiest snail in the world? Oh, come on. Not gonna lie, hearing someone eat chips on the bus is an AoE attack. That's true. That is true.
And around this time, across the pond in England, where instead of chips they had taken on the name Crisps, the Smith's Potato Crisps Company began selling the chips in grease-proof paper bags all over London. And with the bag of potato chips came a little sachet of salt so you could flavor the chips yourself. And that pretty much was the only flavor added to potato chips for the longest time. And it would take someone who really understood potatoes to take the chip to the next level in flavor. And
Not me, guys. I'm not the potato whisperer.
Of course, it would take an Irishman to do so. In 1954, a man named Seamus was working for the Tato Irish Crisp Company, and under the direction of the owner, Joe Spud Murphy, they debuted...
Wait, isn't spud like a word for potato as well? Wait, isn't that a thing? Yeah, it's Jean Potato. What the heck? Oh my goodness.
Debuted a cheese and onion flavor.
Joe Tato.
Direction of the owner, Joe Spud Murphy, they debuted a cheese and onion flavored chip. They took off and became wildly popular. Other companies started getting in on the game. Very soon, the flavor was followed by salt and vinegar, but in America, it was actually sour cream and onion and barbecue that became popular.
Okay, guys, important question. What is everyone's favorite chip flavor? People in chat, people in the YouTube comments, I want to know, okay? Because for me, I do like cheese flavored things. I like the cheese flavored ones a lot. Yeah. So prawn only. Green onion cheese, paprika. I think paprika is like the most famous one in Germany. Mango curry. That's very specific. I don't think I've had that.
Doritos Jack Tranche dipped hot wings.
Hot wings flavor. Huh? Honey butter sounds good. Barbecue or cheese? Barbecue also good. I like the how are they called? Is it ruffle? Is it the crinkly cheese? Yeah, the crinkly cheese, the crinkly chips. Yeah, paprika is like the most popular. Salt and vinegar. Oh.
Bro Max segment.
Wait, what the fuck, Max? Are you kidding me? Bro's trolling. I don't know. I think he's trolling. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah. Salt and vinegar, personally, I'm not a big fan. Personally, because like usually I feel like the vinegar flavor is too strong. I'm not a big fan. But yeah, cheese is my flavor. My flavor, my favorite flavor. Jalapeno kettle chips. Oh, jalapeno is good too. Yeah, or like chili. I like chili too.
Now, the main issue with these crisps or chips was that in the bag they were so thin that they would often break up, and so you'd open the bag and really there'd just be a bunch of crumbs. And then two companies decided to address this issue. The first was in the 1950s with the corrugated potato chip, better known today as Ruffles. Ruffles have ridges.
Ruffles.
Does anyone else remember?
I cannot do that. Ruffles. Ruffles.
For those commercials? It was like late 80s, early 90s. I'm dating myself. Well, it's because of those ridges that the chips had more structural integrity and so were less prone to breakage.
Oh, that's why they made it. I always thought it's because they hold more flavor.
The other solution came in 1956 when a chemist from Procter & Gamble decided to come up with a chip that was uniform in shape, a saddle-shaped chip that could then be stacked and put in a cylinder and sealed. The only issue was that the process of making this uniform chip was that it tasted terrible. And so it didn't go anywhere for quite some time. It took about a decade for them to revisit this idea, and when they did, they retooled the recipe and came up with Pringles newfangled potato chips.
Oh my god! The old Pringles man looked even like more different. They changed him like a bajillion times. Holy shit. Okay, guys, do you know YouTube Frogs? Have you seen the Pringles short? I have made the short about Pringles. I have made I'm just saying it's out there. It's out there. Everyone hated it.
But really, they weren't potato chips because they were actually made of a potato-based dough that was then molded into the shape of chips. And so the other big chip companies got together and put the squeeze on them, or instead they called the FDA, and the FDA said, yeah, actually, we need you to call them potato chips made from dried potatoes.
Nice. That sounds so appetizing. I don't know. I feel like compared to other chips, Pringles really aren't that great. They're not my first choice, especially like if they're not on sale, because they're kind of expensive, right? They're more expensive than other chips. So, yeah.
Well, that isn't very catchy and probably wouldn't even fit on the can. So they decided to follow the British lead and call them potato crisps instead, though most people today just call them Pringles. Now, there was one other way that they stopped.
That's not the one I was talking about. The other Pringle clip. Okay, I'll play it just because. Just for the YouTube Frogs, I will play this, alright? Wait, what? Am I not talking? He's dead now. Mip, this is a commercial, not reality. What? You're telling me Sabrina Carpenter did not fuck the Pringles man? Okay.
Chips from breaking up in the bag, and that was to add air to the bag, which is why now when you open a bag of chips, it's only like a third full, and that just makes me frustrated. So I don't quite understand why they didn't just start making them thicker like the ones today that I'm making. But it turns out that they did, because kettle chips started to come back
Oh my
in the
God!
80s and 90s. And they are thicker and made by taking the potatoes and putting them into a kettle of oil and
I'm not gonna lie, I always thought kettle chips were thinner. I thought they were thinner.
frying them, and they don't break as easily. So even though they do
Ooh.
take quite a bit longer to fry,
I want
am
chips,
looking
guys.
forward to my unbreakable potato chips from 1817. And here we are, the first recipe for potato chips. All right, so I've got the 1/4 inch thick and the 1/8 of an inch thick. Honestly, not a huge difference in how thick they are, it looks like. These curled up a little bit more, the 1/8 of an inch thick ones, and according to sources from the 19th century, the thinner they are, the more they will curl. But the
Makes
color
sense,
is pretty,
I think.
pretty uniform. Let's start with that 1/4 inch thick one.
Oh, it's so crispy.
Crunchy.
Wow.
I'm kind of surprised. So I gotta say, the flavor is so superior to a regular potato chip. And I love potato chips, but you just get so much more potato. It really tastes like just mashed potatoes and lard. Essentially, that's what it is. But really, really good. And they're not greasy. I thought they would be because of the thickness, that they would kind of absorb it. But let's try the thinner one. 1/8 of an inch. Here we go.
Oh, the crunch! The crunch is so good.
Even crunchier. And maybe a better flavor. There's almost a hint of, it's not burning, it's that Maillard reaction that kind of gives that really savoriness to it and kind of elevates the flavor. So it's not just potato and oil.
The smart words. The smart words. Wow.
It's a new flavor. But again, this is a lot more flavorful than your average potato chip that you would get today.
Really?
Maybe that's why kettle chips have really made a comeback, because they do taste better. The only problem with kettle
Kelp
chips
chips? Oh,
is
kettle.
that because they're more sturdy.
Okay, guys, how do you feel about kelp chips? Or like, I said chips again. How do you feel about kelp chips or like other like alternative vegetable chips? Corn chips don't count. Tortilla chips don't count. Stop! Chips, chat. Oh, seaweed. I love, but I don't know if I would count that as a chip. The crunchy seaweed, I love those. But I'm not a big fan because I feel like a lot of the vegetable chips, they're not as crispy as potato chips. So I don't like them as much. Yeah. Never had them, but they sound disappointing. Yeah, the kelp chips, pretty much. Oh, banana chips or apple chips. I like banana and apple chips, but I feel like they're very different. I mean, obviously, because they're fruit, right? They're sweet. Sweet potato chips are awesome too. I do like sweet potato chips. I will say that.
And they don't break as easily. They always cut the inside of my mouth, like the roof of my mouth. I'll eat a bag of kettle chips and regret it for the next 48 hours. But while I'm doing it, I'm very, very happy. So since we talked about some fake history,
Guys, I always thought I hate food ASMR, like eating ASMR. But his crunch, those crunches, they're awesome.
here on the show today, I wanted to show you this book. It is called Fake History, 101 Things That Never Happened, by the Fake History Hunter on Twitter. I follow her. She's fantastic. She's always talking about like picking fights with people who are posting fake history online. She's great. And in this, not only did she attack some of the most common fake history memes and things that are floating around on the internet, but then she goes in and debunks it and tells you why it's debunked and what are the original sources. Where are the original sources if there are none? You know, she really does her research. It's fascinating, and she tells you how you can approach fake history as well. If it's not in this book, then you can kind of debunk things on your own or confirm them, because there's a lot of real history out there as well. So yeah, try the book, try the chips, and I will see you next time on Tasting History.
Yay! Oh, I guess I will buy some chips tomorrow. Maybe one day I'll make my own, but I really don't want to deal with the oil and stuff. Oh. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Come over to Twitch to watch me. Make sure to subscribe to Tasting History, alright? Make sure to do that. And check out his videos, please. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, YouTube! Bye-bye!